Spanish media reports reveal shocking details about the future of the Norwegian striker. In one of the most exciting stories in the world of football, a story that has long occupied the minds of Real Madrid fans and football enthusiasts around the globe, the name of the extraordinary Norwegian striker Erling Haaland has returned to the spotlight with a vengeance. But this time, the narrative is entirely different from mere summer transfer rumors. The recent statements by veteran Spanish journalist José Félix Díaz, chief editor of Marca newspaper, have left no room for doubt. Haaland's future ultimately bears the white color of Real Madrid. Díaz, who is among the closest sources to the decision-makers at the Royal Club, confirmed that Florentino Perez's administration has been tracking the Norwegian striker since he was just 16 years old. He also stated that those within the player's inner circle firmly believe that donning the Real Madrid shirt is an inevitable destiny. The pressing question now is, are we on the verge of one of the biggest transfers of the century? And what obstacles stand in the way of this royal dream? Admission from the heart of Valdebebas. Exceptional scouting since childhood. According to what José Félix Díaz revealed, Real Madrid's love story with Erling Haaland is not a recent development, but rather dates back over a decade. The Marca editor-in-chief confirmed that the Royal Club scouts never lost sight of the player when he was still a promising young talent at his Norwegian club Molde at just 16 years of age. At the time, the Norwegian was merely a budding prospect in the Norwegian league, but the eyes of the white club saw something different in him, that raw gem that could be polished to become one of the greatest goal scorers in the world. This early interest was not mere fleeting admiration. It was part of the club's strategy for scouting global talent before their market values skyrocketed. The same source indicates that Real Madrid had an opportunity to sign Haaland before his major footballing career took off, as they could have secured him for just €8 million while he was at Red Bull Salzburg. However, that chance slipped away, and the Norwegians' attention turned toward Borussia Dortmund and then Manchester City. Explosive statements from former Borussia Dortmund president. To corroborate these claims, we must turn to another equally significant source. Former Borussia Dortmund president Hans-Joachim Watzke, in an interview with Spanish newspaper AS, recently circulated by global media, Watzke made heavy-hitting statements regarding the future of the Norwegian striker. Watzke confidently stated, "Erling loves Real Madrid, and that's no secret. I believe he will play there in 2 or 3 years, but not now. His time will come." These statements carry substantial weight coming from someone who was exceptionally close to Haaland during his rise in the Bundesliga and possesses deep insight into the player's mindset and ambitions. Watzke did not stop at discussing Haaland's affection for Real Madrid. He also categorically denied that the player had committed to any other club at present, affirming that his father, Alfie Haaland, had previously stated that his son enjoys complete freedom to choose his own future. More recently, during the 2026 World Cup, Alfie Haaland also stated that any player wants to play for Real Madrid, a clear indication and implicit support for his son's ambitions. The Mbappe-Haaland duo, Perez's eternal dream on the verge of fruition? From a tactical and media perspective, the idea of pairing Haaland and Mbappe in a single attack is a nightmare for defenses worldwide and a dream that has haunted club president Florentino Perez for years. With Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. already in place, Real Madrid's front line already looks terrifying. However, adding the Norwegian machine would mean possessing the most fearsome attacking trio in the history of football, capable of enforcing European dominance for an entire decade. According to numerous analyses published by Marca and AS, the Madrid administration views Haaland as either the ideal replacement or the perfect striking partner, especially given the uncertainty surrounding Vinicius Jr.'s future due to ongoing contract renewal negotiations. Some suggest that Perez considers Haaland an absolute priority should the Brazilian leave, while others believe the club plans to sign him regardless of Vinicius's future, forming a legendary duo with Mbappe. Financial hurdles and Manchester City's lengthy contract. Despite all these optimistic statements, financial and contractual obstacles remain the greatest challenge standing in the way of this historic transfer. Erling Haaland is tied to a long-term contract with Manchester City until 2034, which gives the English club a very strong negotiating position. According to reports published by Marca, Manchester City will not allow their star player to leave for anything less than €200 million, a massive figure approaching his estimated market value of €159 million, even though still lower than the world record fee paid by Paris Saint-Germain for Neymar. However, the story does not end at transfer fees alone. The total cost of the deal, including Haaland's salary, which approaches €500 million over the course of his long-term contract, could reach a staggering €600 million. This enormous sum makes the transfer a financial challenge even for a club of Real Madrid's stature, especially given its relatively prudent financial policy in recent years. 2026 World Cup, a showcase to confirm the dream. All this speculation comes at a perfect time, as Haaland is delivering a stellar performance at the ongoing 2026 World Cup. Having led Norway to a historic quarter-final appearance and scored 7 goals so far in the tournament, the Norwegian is reaffirming his status as one of the top 3 players in the world. Every goal he scores at the Mundial increases his market value and strengthens the royal club's desire to sign him, while simultaneously silencing doubters and proving that investing in him is an investment in the future. 2027 be the long-awaited date? Spanish leaks, particularly from the Catalan newspaper El Nacional, suggest that Real Madrid plans to activate Haaland's purchase option by the summer of 2027 for a fee in the region of €170 million. This timeline largely aligns with Watzke's prediction that the player would move to Madrid within 2 or 3 years from now, meaning we could be on the verge of an official announcement in the summer of 2027 or 2028 at the latest. Final summary. All threads converge and lead to one undeniable truth. Erling Haaland's transfer to Real Madrid is not merely a dream or a fleeting rumor. It is a long-term project that began when the player was just 16, firmly believed in by those close to the Norwegian, acknowledged by presidents of other clubs, and meticulously planned by Florentino Perez. Yes, the obstacles are substantial, especially the long-term contract with City. However, in the world of football, and especially when it comes to Real Madrid and a superstar of Erling Haaland's caliber, the word impossible simply does not exist in the dictionary. It really is only a matter of time. And we are on the verge of one of the greatest transfers of the coming century.